In this video we're going to be comparing the Saucony Truimph 20 against the Salomon Aeroglide. What is up everybody and welcome to 40 Runs and a quick versus video. Yes, I wanted to do a Truimph versus Aeroglide video because actually they're very similar. Now before we do anything else, quick shout out to everybody who's a member of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for supporting us, and you can join as a member yourself. Check out the information in the description, and you can also subscribe to this YouTube channel for free. Yeah, I know, free, it's amazing, isn't it? So make sure you do that before you leave me today. Okay, right, so I wanted to compare the Truimph against the Aeroglide because I think they're probably the closest match in terms of the shoes that I have. Now both shoes have 37mm stack height, both have a 10mm drop, both have mesh uppers, both have a, what's the best way to describe it? Reasonably good outsole. Both fit true to size. This shoe's £150. This shoe, I've seen it because it's now obviously an older model, down to about £100. But, you know, it's about the same sort of price if you was paying that sort of money on the Saucony website. So, yeah, they're very similar. Weight, this is a little bit heavier. We've got just under 300 grams versus 272 grams. So, very similar for both the shoes. They're sort of max stack-ish, but sort of more, I don't know, plush daily trainers. Does that make any sense? Maybe not. But, you know, shoes that are built up a little bit and are there to cruise along for some of those maybe longer miles, but those slower miles. Both are designed for comfort, but I can tell you now straight away the Truimph wins hands down for comfort. So let's talk about the sort of comparisons and the things I like and the things I don't like about each shoe. I much prefer the upper on the Truimph. It's a much better feeling, higher quality feeling upper on the shoe. I think I prefer the outsole on the Aeroglide. I like the lighter feelingness of the Aeroglide versus the Truimph. The Truimph feels a lot of shoes. I like the width of the Aeroglide. There's nothing wrong with the Truimph, by the way, and there's nothing wrong with either of these shoes, by the way. They're both very good. But I prefer, I think, the width of the Aeroglide. I prefer the fit of the Truimph. The Aeroglide's a little bit funny. I mentioned it, I think, in the first impressions video I did, where one of the shoes is a little bit smaller than the other, and I had a bit of ankle rub and that kind of stuff. So the Truimph, definitely a better feeling and fitting shoe. I prefer the fit and feel of the Truimph in and around the heel area and the tongue, even though I've said it before in other videos, my biggest sort of complaint against the Truimph, I know I'm contradicting myself, is the tongue. It does feel like a lot of shoe, but it's definitely a much more comfortable place to be than the Aeroglide. The Aeroglide, for me, is the sort of halfway house between this Truimph 20 and the Nova Blast 3. It is somewhere in the middle in terms of sort of stripped down a little bit, but lacking some of the plushness of the Truimph. But I think it's a good comparison because, as I say, they're very similar in many, many ways. Out of these two, for me, I would tell you to buy the Truimph 20 or the 21 because it would just be an upper update. The Power Run Plus midsole in this shoe is phenomenal. It really does feel great on those sort of longer-ish miles. It really is a great cruiser. There's nothing wrong with the energy foam. It does a good job. It's not overly soft, it's not overly firm, but for me personally, I just prefer the setup of the Power Run Plus. I like the outsole. I know I said I prefer this outsole, but it does a good job. And I don't know, the Truimph 20, I just feels like that little bit better quality, that little bit more of a finer, what's the best way to sort of describe it? It's sort of like you could go and get a car. What's a brand? So you could get like I don't know, this is a really, really bad example, but you can go and get like a BMW and you can get like a sport version of it, or you could go and get the M version of it. The Truimph would be like the M version, and forget about the speed element, but it's like that sort of next grade up in terms of what you'd get in your car, so you get a few more bits on it. It's a little bit more comfortable, it's a little bit more, I don't know, quality feeling. I think that's a really bad example, but hopefully you get where I'm going. I think the Salomon's a good shout. Road running shoe from Salomon. It's okay. It's, you know, is what it is. But I think really out of these two, if you're looking for something along these lines, a little bit more stack, a little bit more feeling about it, then you definitely go with the Truimph 20.